afternoon. Today we have with us Mr. Laurent Duffier, Country General Manager of L'Oréal, and we have Demet Akman, who is the HR Director and the Business Leader for Diversity and Inclusion in L'Oréal. Thank you for participating.
Merhaba.
Merhaba,
teşekkürler.
nasılsınız?
Merhaba, teşekkürler.
Merhabalar Demet Hanım, hoş geldiniz. We're going to have a chat about the perspective and priorities of L'Oréal. So first, I want to ask you, Laurent, what does diversity and inclusion mean to L'Oréal, and what are your main priorities under diversity and inclusion, and how do you monitor, assess them?
So, you know, at L'Oréal, we are a beauty company, and our mission is to bring beauty for all around the world. So, and by nature, beauty is very diverse. A woman in Asia will not have the same expectation than a woman in Africa or in Latin America or in Europe or in Turkey. So this is why it's very important for us, in order to understand and to answer these different needs in all their diversity, to have also employees which represent and are also a reflection of this world diversity. Because, you know, when you do that, then you are much more stronger and much more relevant when you build a product and take any decision, because you have more perspectives, different perspectives and point of views on the things. And so at the end of the day, it brings you more creativity and more relevance. So somehow, in a way, we could say that diversity and inclusion is fueling our inspiration and our creativity to bring beauty for all across the world. And of course, it's not only about this, but being present and active in this field is also a way for us to show our corporate responsibility. And we think it's our duty as a world citizen, not only to make business, but also to make a positive impact on the world. So to be a little bit more precise, there are actually three main pillars in our diversity and inclusion policy. So the first one is the gender. As a beauty company, it's quite natural for us to support women very strongly. And so basically, we ensure that women are recruited fairly, that they are promoted fairly, that they are trained also in their leadership, maybe sometimes to overcome some prejudice that they might have even themselves, or that their colleagues can have also. This is something which can be very useful. We ensure at L'Oréal Turkey a full transparency and fairness in terms of salary. So we can say very clearly that with the same position, a woman would not make less than a man. I mean, this is a very important principle for us. And finally, we accompany women in the different life cycles that they might have, meaning, of course, maternity, but also later with the needed flexibility with work smart days and home office in order to be able to organize their life, because we know that women also have, in general, a wider charge in the households than a man. I mean, this is a reality. So the second axis is disability. So the first thing which is important for us is to necessarily in a visible way can disclose it safely, because in any given company you will see that there are a lot of people who have disabilities, but they don't dare saying it. And so one of the first actions we are taking is to make these people, if they want, have the capabilities to expose their disability, and that so that we can help them the best way possible. So this is the first axis of the disability policy. Then the second axis is, of course, to recruit and to have a percentage of people with disabilities in line with the requirements of the government in Turkey and everywhere in the world. And the last thing, a little bit broader scale, is to influence and to do partnership with our suppliers in order for them also to hire more disabled people. And we have many examples on that front where we can generate employment for disabled people at our suppliers by working with them. And the last element of our diversity policy is the socio and multicultural origin topic. And here we are trying to hire people also from different backgrounds. For example, we have a great story with Syrian refugees that we have hired at L'Oréal, and Demet will tell us a little bit more. And we also sponsor and promote initiatives in underprivileged communities to facilitate access to work. So these are the three pillars of our actions, and for us, it's a very important, of course, axis of our corporate responsibility as a responsible citizen in Turkey and in the world.
It all sounds beautiful. Do you have any measures of, or do you monitor them at a certain term? Like, do you report them? Do you have any methodology in following up and monitoring and evaluating your success under these three pillars?
Yes, absolutely. I think Demet is going to tell us a little bit more about the details.
Yes, okay. Let me start. Maybe we can start with some concrete examples.
Yes,
and we can start with the gender. So global researchers tell us that women are underrepresented in senior and top management levels. And we see that the higher up in the corporate ladder, we see fewer women, unfortunately, which is not the case in L'Oréal, and we are very proud of it. At the global level, at the company level, at the global level, we are at the 54% in women in terms of the leadership positions. And in Turkey, we are even more than that with 58%. So we have 58% of our country management committee are female. And in all the management levels, we observe more than 50% in terms of the female participation. This has been also recognized, by the way, as you also refer to how we monitor it, also recognized by the external benchmark companies. For the fourth consecutive year, L'Oréal has been recognized in Bloomberg's 2021 Gender Equality Index, which highlights 380 companies across 44 countries. And the criteria includes the female leadership and talent pipeline, gender pay parity, inclusive culture, and sexual harassment policies. Maybe another benchmark from last year, Equilib ranked L'Oréal in the top 5 of its ranking, which assesses the degree of gender equality of more than 3,500 companies. So again, this is a strong recognition of our long-term efforts to empower people of all genders as part of our commitment of diversity and inclusion. And we are really strongly convinced that the gender equity is a strategic lever to increase well-being at work and definitely fuel creativity and innovation and boost the performance and growth of the company.
Yeah, absolutely, Demet. And there are also some initiatives maybe that are worth mentioning outside of the company. Yes. And more specifically, this beautiful program called For Women in Science, which was one of the flagship programs of L'Oréal corporate responsibility. So what is it about? So it's about a program that we are running for more than 20 years, by the way. So it's not a commitment from yesterday that aims at encouraging women to embrace scientific careers. Because today you have to know that only 29% of the researchers are women in the world. Hopefully we are close to parity in Turkey, but in the world it's a reality. And out of the 100% of people who got Nobel Prizes, only 3% actually are women. And it's a problem because we know that in research also, women have different perspectives, they have different visions of the problems, and they can contribute very strongly to the science. And we all know that science, I mean, these days, it's quite obvious that it's so important, you know, for our future, being for the pandemic or being for the sustainability of our world. It will all be solved by science. So it's very important to for us, this program. And so what is it about? It's basically about each year selecting in each country of the world, including in Turkey, the best young scientists and to bring them to a global ceremony where the most talented ones are awarded and get a scholarship in order to support their research and also training in order to help them in the development of their career. So this is a program that we are doing in partnership with UNESCO for more than 20 years, for more than 17 years in Turkey. In Turkey, we have supported more than 100 women so far with scholarships, and Turkish women are extremely talented, especially the scientific ones. So we got already several Turkish talents which have been awarded also at international level as one of the best in their categories. So it's a big source of pride for all of us in Turkey, and it's a way for us to support the growth of women in the scientific field.
It sounds wonderful, and I would like to congratulate you as a company having the feeling and efforts of diversity and inclusion even before it has become a trend topic. You know, now it's a very trendy topic that we all want to cover in the corporate environment. So I think it makes a great change to hear that you've started years ago and had a long way since, you know, you're talking about 20 years ago for some of the programs, and giving the freedom of voice, especially in the workplace, for helping to create a more diverse and inclusive culture in the work environment. I'm sorry, Demet, you were saying something. I think I cut you off.
Yeah, I would like to also mention one of our very critical and important projects, which is dear to our hearts. It's around our disability, actually. As Laurent mentioned in the beginning, do you know that 70% of the disabilities are invisible? So it's really, I mean, a huge ratio. And because of being stigmatized, unfortunately, the employees may not share openly their disabilities. And for this reason, last year, we have launched Dile campaign, Break the Silence campaign in L'Oréal Turkey on the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. And the purpose is to express our stance on disability, to encourage the employees to disclose any disability, and also to introduce the new platform where we can collect and evaluate all relevant ideas and suggestions from our employees. And also another positive side for this project, we cooperated with a startup called Erişilebilir Her Şey around it. And the startup is founded by 3 entrepreneurs with disabilities. So supporting them is also supporting our project in a way. And again, as Laurent mentioned, we are also partnering with our suppliers in order to create opportunities for disabled people. So this is also one of our pillars, which is really critical to serve our D&I motto.
I think it's really important to bring the business partners into the picture and supporting your cause. It all sounds wonderful, especially on this area, as you have mentioned. It may not come as a priority sometimes, and it's understandable that disabled employees remain silent. I love the name of the project as well. I hope you will be very successful, and we will all learn from each other, you know, in increasing the number of similar projects.
Absolutely, and You know, there is something important also is that all these projects, and I will tell you in 1 minute about another one, which is also very important, but all these projects are very good for the people who benefit from it, but they are also strong engagement levels for our employees, because when you work for a company which has such values, it makes you proud, and it makes you also more engaged. You know why you're waking up every day. You're not just waking up to sell products or whatever. You wake up because you contribute also to a company who is interested in doing good overall. So this is also for us a very strong engagement level. All these corporate responsibility projects that we are running. So, by the way, I just wanted to tell you one word also about our last maybe project on the last pillar, which is the multicultural origins. I touched base already a few minutes ago, but basically it's about helping Syrian refugees. So of course, we all know, I mean, the difficulties that these people are facing to find work and to, you know, find their place sometimes in Turkey. And so we thought about how can we help. And we had an idea, which is that basically we have a brand called Kills, which is a brand having stores. And in some of the locations of the stores, it happens that we have a lot of visitors and tourists from the Gulf region. And so we decided basically to hire refugees who can speak at the same time Turkish to serve the Turkish consumers, and at the same time we can speak Arabic to serve, you know, the tourists. And so it's great because it's very appreciated by the tourists who are visiting Turkey, and at the same time it's good for the company, and it's good for these people who can have access to you know a stable employment with fair conditions and strong also social benefits. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's a project that benefits to all, which is relevant for the business and also relevant for the people. And I think these are the most solid projects at the end of the day.
I was just going to ask, how do you feel about its impact on the business and employees? But you've just answered me. It does really brings purpose into the lives of our employees. So
Absolutely.
That's really strong and very meaningful. Demet, would you like to say a word?
What I can say, maybe I can just say how it is described one of the activists, actually, the diversity and inclusion. Diversity is being invited to the party, and inclusion is being asked to dance. I'm sure you know about this quote, and this is really nicely described why diversity does not exist without inclusion. And when employees feel included, they feel a sense of belonging. They feel they're included, and they feel more positively engaged with the organization. And it means higher employee engagement, driving higher levels of productivity, retention, and overall success for sure of the company. And inclusion is about understanding the differences among individuals and ensuring each person feels valued, safe, and accepted. And of course, I mean, according to some researchers, there is the top 3 most important factors which enables a culture of inclusion: the being treated with respect, feeling safe to share opinion, and feeling valued as an individual. And it's really possible with genuine listening, showing curiosity, and really praising the employee contribution. It seems very easy, but at the same time very challenging. And maybe last words on how we measure what we are doing actually. We are able to measure the outcome of our efforts and actions, and we are really proud to see a strong score in our employee pulse survey, which we run every year. So we see the results as well based on our surveys that we are running yearly basis.
Yeah, and it's even more important, this kind of projects, not only because it's our duty, but also because at this time of remote working, I mean, where many people work from home, you know, it's very important also to have some cement that is also bringing engagement and bringing purpose to the company, especially during these times. I think this is even more important and even more valuable.
Absolutely. It's all about, I think, acceptance, and the refugee project also brings that acceptance level of giving back to the society level. So that sounds all very great, and I congratulate you both for all your efforts. Laurent, would you like to have a closing sentence or word? Anything else you would like to tell us?
Yeah. The thing is that today we spoke about diversity and inclusion, but at the end of the day, it's just one of the aspects of our corporate responsibility and one of our duties to be a global citizen and to make not only a financial impact, but a positive impact on this planet. And it goes along with two other main priorities, which are ethics and sustainability. So these three levels, ethics, sustainability, and diversity and inclusion, in the 21st century, we believe that having these three strong pillars is absolutely fundamental for any company that not only wants to do good, but wants to stay long in this world in the long run, because the consumers and the planet demands it. So not only it's our duty, but it becomes also our license to operate. And so we are and we will always be pioneers and committed on this topic, L'Oréal. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, and we'll be happy to come back one day if you want to talk about the other pillars.
Thank you so much for your valuable contributions and for your participation. As you said, it's not a choice anymore. It's a must. And it's great to be having this discussion with you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, Go Shows.